Thank you, Lisa, for inviting me, and welcome everyone. My name is Attila Goz. I am originally from Hungary, in the neighborhood, and I bet that I have the least experience with Tableau in this room, because I joined Tableau not that long ago, 3 months ago, and I'm delighted to be here, and I want to thank you for all of you, not just being here, but using Tableau, being our customers, being our users. I really appreciate all of you, because we wouldn't be here otherwise. Before we dive in, just a quick note that this presentation contains some statements about the future, and things can change, so we can't foresee the future. So that is just what I wanted to add very quickly here. Now, it's already 5 years since Salesforce has acquired Tableau, and of course since 2019 a lot has changed. And if you take a look at these numbers, you can see back in 2019 Tableau had 2.6 million visits on Tableau Public, 1 billion revenue, over 3 million users, and still, fast forward 5 years later, as of this year, we have experienced a tremendous change, a tremendous growth. 11 million Tableau Public visits, 3 billion annual recurring revenue, so it's like tripled, 8 times more users, and magnificently more than 4 million people elevating their data skills. So the numbers are here only just to underpin and underline that Tableau is doing great, and we have brilliant plans for the future. And all of this is possible because we are part of the larger Salesforce ecosystem. Maybe you watched or you heard about it, but Mark Benioff, CEO of Salesforce, had a keynote at Dreamforce earlier this year in October. I think it was in San Francisco. And then was the big announcement of the Agent Force. And the Agent Force is going to play a key part for the coming years in Salesforce and, of course, in Tableau as well. It allows us to rapidly scale with the agents and to help us humans to drive more customer success. This is the whole idea behind, right? It really leverages the trusted data and metadata, and is natively integrated with the Salesforce applications, and it's easy to customize. This is a founding principle and idea that these are customizables and built upon this trusted and well-known Salesforce platform. Because of this, we pretty much rebuilt the entire Salesforce platform. This new Salesforce platform unifies these Salesforce applications like Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud, and the data and the agents. Agentforce, it is the only AI platform that connects the data with the AI agents without the need of training the models. I think it's very important. It's deeply integrated. It works, builds in all the data and in the front office applications. Now you see that data cloud arch over there. This is the basis. This is like a very, very key part of this whole platform, what we call a data cloud, with a zero copy architecture. Because traditionally, if you wanted to analyze the data, you had to make copies, right? And it's quite inefficient. And you can duplicate data floating around. It takes time. It takes resources, time, etc. And this is where this data copy architecture comes out. As I said, I don't have too much experience, so I would encourage you to Google it, what it really does, if you are interested in all the technical details. But imagine that you'll be able to analyze the live version of structured and unstructured data, textbooks, and real time without making copies. And on these data cloud layers, I'm going to go into a bit more details later on, lies what we call is that that layer, the trust layer, so we can make sure that everyone is speaking the same language. It gives you the real-time insight and simplifies your data governance as well. And with this whole new architecture, and let's zoom back to the Tableau world, we're trying to the whole underlying reason behind it, trying to solve problems that you face at the business. To give you an example, today most of our teams work over on the left side on the screen. This is where we use our applications. In some cases, we are in some silos. We use our Salesforce, Slack, Workday, our productivity applications, Office applications. But on the other hand, insights live in other places outside where we work and where the business user work. And to make it more challenging, company data require in an isolated, trapped environments. They live in various places. All these structured and unstructured data, companies, in many cases, they can't even have access to it. They spend millions on trying to building data warehouses and data lakes to live on this data. And this is the whole concept behind of the agent force, to have better outcomes with it. Because you want to unlock this trapped data and bridge the gap between where people work and where the insight leads. And this is what we are trying to solve, what we're going to talk today. Additionally, with agent force, we want to solve other common problems that you might be very, very familiar with. These are the 4 pillars that I put there, 4 pillars of problem, if I can say that. I'm sure you've all experienced these. First of all, many insights are overlooked or ignored by employees of the companies. Then another very typical one, even if they have access to the data, they don't trust the data. And furthermore, as I just mentioned, the data landscape is large and fragmented. And finally, when you build some nice and really useful visualization, dashboard and report, it's not reusable within the organization. Someone has to rebuild again a year later or half a year later. So it's really not efficient. So we also trying to address these challenges with the future of Tableau. And this is Tableau Einstein, which is built with Agentforce. And pretty much this is the future of Tableau that I'm going to talk about in the next few minutes. And now, going back to the previous slides that I just showed to you, these 4 core problems, how are we going to solve this with Tableau Einstein? So Tableau Einstein delivers an autonomous insights and actions, right? It's going beyond just a standalone visualization tool. It have components like Tableau polls. I'm going to demonstrate. Hopefully, it's going to work on my phone today. Tableau agent and the Salesforce workflow. You get on the second pillar, you get trusted insights delivered through the Tableau semantic layer. The Tableau semantic layer runs on the data cloud. It's a brand new capability of Tableau. Then the third pillar is the Tableau Einstein with the data cloud that also ensures the secure and real-time data, that the cloud scale, that all the needs that are met. And it also, finally, in the fourth law, it also enables reusability of the assets. We're going to launch what we call the Tableau Marketplace, yes, over there. And the reason behind it is that we want those dashboards, those visualization reusable. And this marketplace could be also internal only, within the company, or it can external facing. So you can even monetize your work this is something that we are building here. Now, how even more details how Tableau Einstein works. So on the left side, we have all these data sources. We bring it together, the hundreds of different connectors, and we also giving access to unstructured data, real-time and streaming data, and any data in any of your cloud warehouses without moving them, because we are built with this data cloud and zero copy, so we don't have to actually move all this data. Now, if you look at the model column, once you have access your data, you're going to want to model and prepare it. We're doing two things here. Bringing together an enterprise class pipelines you would get from an enterprise solution with this beautiful, simple, agile aspect of Tableau preparation into one solution. We're giving it a major upgrade. It's going to be, of course, AI infused, as you can imagine, and we're infusing this AI into the prep, into Tableau prep and modeling process. So you can automate. The whole idea behind is to automate those processes 80%. This is 80% of those times. Now you got your data modeled, and the most important part of the BI is turning the raw data into the language we all speak. Probably this is something that we're going to speak about later tonight. And this is, we're building this brand new semantic layer. So actually within the company we all understand that is this the same. When we talk about revenue, for example, the revenue report, that revenue is understood same by the sales people, marketing people, and the finance people. So this is very important that we speak all the same languages in this. So that's the reason why it's so important. And we do one other thing here in the contextualize part. We're going to add a predictive engine here. Not only you can see how the business looks today, but also in business language, by the way, but it's going to also help you to see what is going on in the future. In the engage part, so if you move again, now you have all these insights, that's great, but if your teams are ignoring your dashboards anyway, what are you going to do? So we retold the visualization experience. Every visual in Tableau Einstein is built to be placed where people work. We're going to have these, we call them widgets. Like if someone already uses Salesforce, for example, in Sales Cloud or in Service Cloud, these widgets placed purposefully, so purposely there, personalized to the individual, personalized to me, what is my role, and where I am. So you can look at very relevant information there, and I can ask natural language question to these widgets. And talking about the action pillar, what does it mean to turn something into action? For the first time ever in BI, we have an enterprise class workflow engine, again, built on Salesforce and the Salesforce actual platform, because Salesforce Flow now is part of the Tableau Einstein. So its strength lies in its flexibility for analysts to grab any data, analyze it instantly, create metrics, visualization, collaborate with business partners via Slack, via Microsoft Teams. We also do have integration with all the Microsoft ecosystem. And we're providing a personal sandbox as big as you need, where you can work with the familiar Tableau experience while leveraging enterprise data. When you discover valuable insight, then you can decide to promote this. So you can actually work in a sandbox and then promote it when you decide that this is something valuable. So this is how it looks like in a bit more details. Probably you were wondering that, okay, but what does it do with me, with my organization? And I think it's important. First of all, it's important to say that we really want it to be scalable. So this is something that could work in very small businesses as well, as the same way as in large enterprises. Easy to deploy and easy to scale. So we want to, the whole idea behind it, we want everyone to have the competitive edge and using AI and be more efficient. We don't want to replace humans. Humans, of course, we want to make ourselves more efficient and providing more quality work. But I also want to make very clear that we are not asking you to abandon your existing investment with Tableau. So Tableau server is staying. We still invest a lot into Tableau server and other part of the Tableau business. Think about it more like as an opportunity and a possibility for the future. For further clarification, this is how it looks like, or Tableau Cloud. I would say packaging, right? We have the Tableau Cloud Standard. We have the Tableau Cloud Enterprise, where we include, as you can see, the data management and the advanced management. It also has more cloud side, like 10 different cloud sides that you can decide where you deploy those. And there is Tableau Plus, which is available at the moment. This is the reason why we say it's path to Tableau Einstein. It has all the goodies, all the Einstein fancy stuff. With Data Cloud, and if someone has the Tableau Plus today, then they're going to have, I'm going to show you the release dates. We have full access to all Tableau Einstein functionalities, which are to be released later next year. Tableau Agent, so I'm going to talk about now Tableau Agent and Tableau Pulse. So Tableau Agent being part of the Tableau, I know Tableau Plus, Tableau Pulse, Tableau, it's going to be a bit confusing, right? So what you look at it at the moment is the Tableau Agent. I'm going back one screen here, which is on the Tableau Plus side, yeah? So you have an agent, an AI-powered agent. It's an assistant designed to help you to answer any questions of your data and build the best visualization. It is designed more for the developers, more for the analysts who create these dashboards. It's practically, it's on OpenAI, ChatGPT, large language models. It speaks many different languages. A few weeks ago I was in Budapest, we demonstrated it with my fellow solutions engineer, and we asked him questions to build a dashboard in Hungarian, and it does speak Hungarian as well. So I assume it must speak any other languages. And the whole idea behind is that beyond drag and drop, by natural language, you are able to interrogate your data. This is upcoming. And it's also guaranteed to keep your data safe. So when I mentioned OpenAI and ChatGPT, it's not going to go out in the internet. You're not going to leak your data, because this Tableau Cloud already, whatever version you have, runs on Hyperforce, which is the Salesforce infrastructure, and it has a very strict data governance and security and compliance requirements. So this is something, when you train your agent and when you use these large language model capabilities, the data stays within the company, and it's not going to leak. We even have a name for it. Of course, we have a name for everything. It's called the Einstein Trust Layer. This is what ensures that none of your data is used by third-party models, and protecting against also hallucinations and toxicity. This is something that we help you with. So you don't have to DIY your models. We actually build it for you. We also have Tableau Pulse. And Tableau Pulse relates back that how can we help the business that when we define those KPIs, what is important for the business, then they actually use it and don't ignore it. So we want to help companies to push the data, the relevant data, into the, sorry to say this, into the face of the business users. And I'm trying to demonstrate how this works in real life. So I have Tableau polls on my phone. I just opened it. Here you go. And in this use case, imagine that I have a fancy position. I am a leader. Let's say CFO, a financial leader of a retail bank, right? I work at a retail bank, and I have this data receiving on my phone on a daily basis, and these KPIs are set by the data team because this is something that we agreed on. So I'm going to get, this is the reason why the name polls come from. It's like polls on a daily basis. It depends how it's set up. So I receive these reports on a daily basis. What you can notice immediately, on the top it uses natural language. So it describes what is happening here. That new finance requests surged by 27%. Because as a financial bank, I work at a financial bank, we provide loans. That is a critical part of the business. This is how we get revenue. So that is the reason why it's so important for me to get this information. And it says on the very top that new finance requests surged by 27%, which is great news. I'm very happy today. But then it also says the new loan volume dropped significantly by 88%. And I'm looking at this chart here, and I can see that in the new low volume, there is this downwards line, right? Which is like, raises me concerns. What is happening? So I'm going to scroll down a bit for the next KPIs, and I can see that, what's happening here? New finance requests are increasing by 27%. So there's a contradiction here, right? It's like, what is the reason behind that the new finance requests are increasing, but the new loan volume are decreasing? Something's wrong here. So what I'm doing now, I'm scrolling down to the next one, which is an underwriting pipeline. This is another KPI again that was defined by me, defined by the team, that this is something important, and this is something that I need to look at it on a daily basis. And I can see that the number of days here it says that the number of days here are increased by 20%. So I'm going to click into this, and it's going to open this single dashboard for me, and it shows me the average day in the underwriting pipeline. It's 12 days, but then it also shows me in the prior month it increased 20%. If I compare to the prior year, it's 65%. So something is really wrong here. So I want to ask a few questions. So you can ask, if I click on the ask, I can ask my own language, I can ask questions, and also the AI helps me to ask which underlying stage decreased the most. So it helps me to ask questions which could be important for me. Or you can also drill down by clicking on this. But let's use the AI now, and I'm going to ask this question: which underlying stage decreased the most? And it's funding and booking. And if I go to breakdown, I can see that it's a loan documentation. So I can talk to my team internally, what is the reason that the loan documentation here is increased by 25%? Or even I can know the reason is behind it's not digitalized yet. We still use paper-based loan documentation model. So when I can talk to these AI and talk about, and I can look at these charts in a way which is important for me as a business user, it helps me a lot, and not just me, but if I click on the top on the share screen, this is something with this integration on Teams, Slack, and so on. I can share this with the data so we can actually act on this. So this is the very brief overview of Tableau polls. And with this, I'm conscious of time. Let me try to stop this. Yeah, it's stopped. So this is how it looks like at the moment. the future. We are already in GA for Marketing Cloud and Non-Profit Cloud. By February, we're going to release the agents, the Tableau agents for any additional clouds, and also the Tableau semantics. And by June 2025, we're going to open the marketplace, which you might remember I mentioned in the beginning, where you can internally and externally share your work, share your build dashboards, and also the custom analytics agents. And this is the final slide. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for your attention.
Thanks, Attila. If someone has questions, please raise your hand. Yeah. I think there are so many people here, so you can just say it down.
Without microphone?
Oh, you can come.
Yeah, I can do it right.
Sure.
So the question is about the Tableau agent. Does it work both in Tableau desktop and Tableau web? I mean web editing. Can you do it in web?
Yes. Yes. It does. It does work. A Tableau agent, in a cloud environment. Mm-hmm. Yes. It will work. Yes.
So yeah, because you said that it's mostly for developers, right?
The Tableau agent part, yes, yeah. Because it works on the creator side.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm concerning about using it for a self-service project. Like if you provide some explorers this ability, it would probably help us.
Yes, exactly. That is another idea. So our mission says we want people understand, see and act on their data. That is exactly the approach, that if you publish those data sources, which are trusted already, then on the Explorer license, people who even
not data people.
Yes, no data people don't know necessarily how to drag and drop. They can ask questions. They can't speak it yet, but this is something that could happen as well. So they still need to type.
Great, thanks.
Yes.
I'm sorry, maybe a little silly question, but is there a chance that these beautiful features will ever work on server version?
Work on server version?
Yes.
That is a very good question, which I am not able to answer.
Yeah. Okay,
the problem. So if I think about it, the situation is that these AI, in order to make these AI features work, we need something like a data cloud, something that, all the data are connected into this metadata layer where the semantic layer is as well. Maybe maybe it makes sense if it's large enough and it's a private cloud or something. I don't know, but just how the architecture is built, I don't know. I don't see. It's not on the. It's not in discussion at the moment for the solution.
And the cloud development at the moment is central for that.
No problem.
Cool. I have a question. Do you have any tools to manage the data quality for data sources, which will be used for Tableau Pulse? Because Tableau Pulse is mostly for C-level, and it's very important for them to use the actual data and data without any mistakes and that stuff. So, am I able to control my quality of my data inside of Tableau Cloud?
Well, I think it's, and sorry if I'm not fully answering your question. As I mentioned to you, I'm going to use the new boy excuse here.
Okay.
Yeah. But I imagine that it's. So I know that it is built on the same data sources which you would use for the normal Tableau dashboards. So if they are cleaned and published in a way through Tableau Prep that they are
okay.
Then
thank you for amazing what you shared. So great thing. I have a question. You ask this thing, AI, like with normal question and it can give you result. But what if like data contains like weird names for events names and like parameter names? Will it manage to like answer when it's non-standard names for like analytical events?
I'm not able to demonstrate today, but I've seen how it works. So when you prepare it through Data Cloud, when you actually drag and drop those data sources, there is this semantic layer. This is the crucial part of this, where you train this. When it helps you to identify and use the appropriate label and naming convention, so everyone understands the same. That is where it happens, that you're cleaning and having this convention, and so make sure that everyone speaks the same language. So it's part of the analyst, the data team to prepare through Data Cloud and this semantic layer to make sure that I talk to the large language models, those rows and tables, what are in the data, we actually mean the same underneath.
Thank you.
I also have a question. Thanks, Attila. I'm curious about this semantic layer. Actually, I've heard a lot about it, but if I'm not mistaken, I've never seen like the interface itself. They say like it will be in February, but I'm also curious. So actually, I think from the Tableau standpoint, semantic layer is something like we use right now published data sources. So like something is published in server, as you said, we will like mark all the metrics, use some naming conventions. But I'm interested, will there be a possibility to connect to this semantic layer using other different tools? For example, I don't know, Python script. So if I understood it correctly, semantic layer, it's not like about the Tableau only, but this layer should be, we should be able to connect to this layer using other tools as well. So
actually, it's available already. So it's not something that we're still building. It's pretty much done. And these days we are releasing the first, like giving access to the first. Like I would say, customers are using it for a while now, so we are confident that it works. It works with structured and unstructured data, and I think I've seen maybe it's a public demo as well, and I'll be happy to share the link.
Thanks a lot, because I've seen about semantic layer a lot, but I've never seen there are so many things about agent, about the pulse. But semantic layer, I didn't see.
Because that's a crucial part. That's why we are confident that it really works. It's not just a hype, as we say, because Data Cloud and within Data Cloud, the semantic layer is something that is giving the whole basis of this and make this work. I will look up that link and share it with you.
Sure, thanks a lot. I will share this in Tableau or our LinkedIn group, so don't worry. Thank you. Okay.
We have one.
Sure.
Thank you for your time and presentation. It's very inspiring. But I have pretty much the same as the other guys said for the question. It's the problem with AI tools that can be vocal labels like garbage in, garbage out. So how can you solve this problem? And which tool you propose to solve this issue?
So yeah,
semantic layer, right?
Yeah, I can repeat myself. So I'm not a technical. When I read about it, when I talk to my colleagues, I attend these trainings and I see these demos. We position it that we have this data cloud where you can. It's a zero copy architecture, so you don't actually copy the data, and you connect your structured and unstructured data, and on this layer we have this semantic layer. And this is where you are able to with drag and drop, and it's a low code, it's a no code or low code environment where you are able to clean your data to make sure that it's as clean as possible. I can get it, and yeah.
So there's a lot of work for data stewards and MDM integrators, and so. If I can, could I ask one more question about the marketplace? You mentioned that some tech guy that can create something and share with Unity or I guess some of the dashboards or visualizations, custom visualizations. How can you monetize that marketplace? Which is the model?
The model, all I know about it at the moment is that marketplace will be, as you might remember, will be released in June 2025, so it's still half a year. It's going to be both internal and external facing. So when you, I'm not sure about the financial part, how you can set up a price and what will be any charges if you need to deduct or not. But I imagine it's like, as the name it says, it's going to be an actual marketplace. And if people see value in what you've built, very specific visualizations, because I know that there is like Tableau Public, right? Or even we have Tableau accelerators. So that is a good question then, what sort of external facing visualization that you can monetize. This is something for the future. I'm afraid I'm not able to for the external facing piece, because internal the value internally is clear, right? There's like financial dashboard and it's there for the future, so the other people will not necessarily need to rebuild it from scratch at least.
But I suppose it will look like something like Viz extensions market right now, so where you can like use any other Viz extensions from like community. Some of them they are like you need to pay for them, so maybe it will look like that. I don't know. I'm not from Salesforce. I'm just guessing.
Yes.
I just want to say, like a friend of mine, he has a startup in Serbia, and he has already developed semantic layer and data platform as a startup. He already for the visualization tool he was building. I'm not going to say name just not to associate with, but I have seen that you have limited the use of LLMs a lot in the Einstein, and I don't believe that's a good idea. Why? What they have found out, and I can say that publicly because he said that LLM, how you structure the language for the query, it has like direct connection. What they found out, direct connections is transferring to SQL like the language, and it has like 1,000 times faster, times it can basically manage the request. So the speed is unbelievably high. So I'm not sure that limiting LLM use in Einstein is a good thing. That's just comment from my side. So, if you have something.
This is something that.
This is something that they found out that they're one of the best engineers I have met in Europe. And this is something that is the groundbreaking research. They didn't publish it publicly. I know that
this is interesting what you say, and this is something that we have internal tools where we can give feedback directly to the engineering team, and I'm very happy to feed it back to them.
It's unbelievable because machine is communicating with machine and it's structuring some kind of SQL-like language by itself, and the speed is skyrocketing.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.